Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is TechnicallyTee, and today I'm bringing you a quick video letting you know how I set up my Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. Now I get tons of questions of people asking me what widgets do I use, what themes do I use, keyboard, a whole bunch of different questions. So I decided to go ahead and just make a video, get it all out there of how I set up my S9 Plus. Now this goes for every one of my Android devices. I set them up all the same way, and this is not a what's on my phone. So let's not get it twisted of a what's on my phone where I go over all my apps and everything like that. This is basically stock applications that I use and how I set every Android device up. First thing first, we're going to start off basically not so much how I set up every Android device, but this is basically how I set up and how I'm using my S9 Plus video. So first things first, I always get asked, hey, you do tons of case reviews. What case do you use on your personal device? And the case that I'm using, as you see, is the Patchwork Mono Grip. The thing I like about this case is it has a very tight fit, nice lay on tear protection, but not only that, is it has a leather type material on the background, and when you scratch it up or do anything like that, it doesn't show any scratches. It doesn't show a bunch of fingerprints, and it actually has a very good grip. As you see, it has some grips on the side here. Now, if you haven't seen my review on the Patchworks Mono Grip, I will link it below or do a little pop-up above this video, however I do it. But that's the case I'm using, Patchworks Mono Grip for the S9 Plus. Absolutely love this case. Now, flipping it over, as you know, I'm running the white stone dome tempered glass screen protector. So if you haven't seen my installation video of this screen protector, I also will link that below as well. But I absolutely love this screen protector. I may do an updated video on the screen protectors to let you know how it's been doing over time, but it's been doing great. This case doesn't lift the edges. It actually feels so smooth. It doesn't feel like you have a screen protector on the device. And I know, guys, the price tag is a little hefty when you're talking about screen protectors, but what you get is A1. Your fit is going to be guaranteed, and all of the cases that I reviewed on the channel so far work without no issues whatsoever. So Patchwork Mono Grip case paired with the white stone dome tempered glass screen protector, and that's basically what's protecting my device. Now, starting off with, I always use always on display. Now, I'm not sure how bright it's actually showing up, but I do use always on display, and I keep it on 100% of the time. I don't actually have it set to where it will, you know, come on during certain hours. I like for it to be showing up all the time, so I'm at work. I don't really got to pick my phone up so you can see the notifications. So as you see, I have my TechnicallyTee logo here, time, date, battery percentage, and any notifications down below. So I use always on display 100%. I do that on all my phones, so gotta keep always on display. Now, turning it on, the main question I always get asked every single Android video is what widget, what theme are you using? I'm not using any themes whatsoever. This is your stock Samsung experience theme. I'm not using no aftermarket launchers. Samsung has been doing a very good job with their launchers, so I don't have to download Nova Launcher like I used to back in the day. But the widget that I'm using, as you see, is HD widgets. So I have a 4x3 glass header, and as you see, you can choose your clock background, your clock, everything like that. I have your clock background. Everything is like a transparent background, so that actually gives you this look here. And as you see, it's a time, current weather, and then you also have a 5-day forecast. Now, one thing I like about HD widgets is you still have your stock controls using the widget. So I can hit my weather, it'll pull up my AccuWeather to let you know my current weather. I can also touch the time. It will pull up my alarms that I have set. And then you can actually touch the calendar over here, and it actually pull up your calendar. So that's the reason why I use HD widgets. And with this view, gives me the current weather, let me know what the next 5-day weather is. So you can do a couple more themes. You can actually have it to where you just have the date and your current weather and not the 5-day forecast. So go download HD widgets. Go ahead, play with it, but that's basically what I use for my widget application. I'm gonna go ahead and get into my home screen setup. Now, like I said, this isn't a what's on my phone, but it's basically how I set up every Android device. So since I don't have one page like my iPhone, even though I can make it that way, I don't like to set up my Android devices that way. I like running a widget. So therefore, I have my top row apps, and these are the same through all of my Android devices. We have the Play Store, Facebook, YouTube, Studio, and we have our gallery. My folders, basically what I use, we have social media, media, shopping, finance, travel folders. Basically the main apps I use, and on the bottom row of apps, you always have your your most used phone, messages, Gmail, internet, and the camera. So that's basically how I have my home screen set up. Edge panel. Now I don't use Edge panel a bunch, but I use a few Edge panels here and there. I have a People's Edge so I can have my quick calls. I have home, my mom, my brother. That's my People's Edge. Scroll over one more time. I have my Clipboard Edge. So when you copy and you copy and pasting and things like that, you can go ahead in the Clipboard Edge, grab it, do your pasting. I also have device maintenance to where as you see, it's 100 out of 100 right now, but over the Samsung, after a while you have to optimize it. And instead of digging into your settings, I like to keep device maintenance on the Edge panel so I can just hit that optimize now, and it'll go ahead and clean up my phone for me. And that's basically all I use: People Edge, Clipboard Edge, and device maintenance. Like I said, I don't use a bunch of Edge features, but I use those 3 Edge panel features there. Next, Google Keyboard. Now, I do use Gboard as my main keyboard. For some reason, I just don't really care for the Samsung keyboard. So as you see here, I do use Google Keyboard. It kind of reminds me of the iOS keyboard. Samsung keyboard just kind of misses when it comes to the autocorrect. So this is why I tend to gravitate towards Google Keyboard. Been using it for a long time. And like you see here, that's the theme I'm using for my Google Keyboard. I really like it. Always been rocking with it since day one when it first came out. And one last thing, I know a lot of people don't like doing this, but if you have a device that's capable of doing it, why not run it at full screen resolution, guys? I run my device at WQHD. I'm not even going to play those games. If it has the ability to run it, that's what I'm going to run. I'm not even going to mess with it. So I run my screen full WQHD, full screen, full resolution, and I don't really see much hit on the battery. Once again, that's just a quick video letting you know how I set up my S9 Plus. Let me know if you want to see any more about my setup. If you have any questions about it, let me know. But that's about it. I will drop the link to the Patchworks Mono Grip down below, also for the white Stone Dome tempered glass screen protector. But as always, guys, if you like this video, give it a huge thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Later.